Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. Um, how are you? How are you? And how is life? Assuming this is real. I wanted to have a look at some. It's not unusual astrology. It's just something that's jumping off the page at me, and it's this. Okay, it's the axes of fire and air. All three are lit up. So we could talk to fire trines and air trines, but what I'm learning from this is something about resolving conflict, a different experience of the same life. Okay. And so on these axes, we have Sagittarius, no, Sagittarius and Gemini, whose opposite ruling planets are in each other's signs and retrograde. Do you remember I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago? And tapping into it, it's been the most unusual energy. Like the axis is going, yeah, what? So in there, there's an inherent challenge to find my own way, which speaks to the archetypes of astrology. And I tend to read astrology intuitively, as you know. Sometimes I'll go to the archetype, but it's not very often. And so there's a big question in here about, yeah, what do you want from me? It's that kind of energy. So that's the Sag Gemini axis. I'm going to go into these in detail. And then we've got the Leo Aquarius axis, which is the Mars Pluto opposition with now Venus coming in to conjunct Pluto. Which speaks to how do you express passion slash rage, which speaks to what's your love language, which speaks to the collective, in the collective. Okay. And then we have the Aries Libra axis, which is also the nodal axis, where Chiron and Lilith are opposite one another. Okay. So we've got some new narratives coming out. And we also have, Sarah, did I write that down? I did. We also have Ceres, the asteroid at 0 in Aquarius. And oh, I didn't notice that. We also have Vesta in Libra. So I'm just going to read through my words and then we'll see where this goes. So, a different experience of the same life, and you'll find the conflict in the expectation. The eyes can only see what the mind is willing to conceive of. Now, what I'm stumbling over is the hidden in plain sight of achievement, conflicting with the push drive strive of trying to get that thing that, well, you've already got it. No, I haven't. I'm pushing. But it's in your blind spot because you don't have the blueprint to know when you've achieved something. Okay. It's a beautiful conflict. So the expectation might be of push, drive, strive, work hard, blood, sweat, tears, or commitment, all of that stuff. But you've heard me talk before about the river that runs under your feet. So while you're busy getting on with life, it can actually be happening. Why? Because of your own solar system, because of your own coding, which is going to communicate with the field while you're not even looking. Like, if I give you an example, when I was studying to be a therapist, I was asked if you could specialize anywhere, where would you like to specialize? And I said, children. I want to work with children. And some almost 20 years later, all I work with is the grown, wounded child. My dream came true. Okay. But the expectation is limiting in itself. So my expectation, I can't remember that far back, I can't remember where I was last week, might have been to go into schools, to go and be with young people, whatever. But that's not what my coding had in mind. Okay. And so there's a big question about let it go. So let go of the dream. But I'm hanging on, let go and rest and let and allow. Because it's cooking. It's going to happen. All right. What's meant for you is going to happen. Yeah, we can get in the way and yeah, we can distort it, but it's going to happen. And then this thought came in, which did make me giggle. I was pondering on the all conflict begins within. All conflict begins within. And Stockholm syndrome came in. Stockholm syndrome, believing that others, say service providers, friends, loved ones, teachers, are acting in your best interest and then becoming emotionally bonded to your captor. Okay. So we could take utility companies and the hyperinflation and keeping us safe from something greater, more harmful. Okay, and engendering in us a certain kind of gratitude, which isn't real because there isn't a problem. Hyperinflation is man made. Okay, follow the money. When you stretch that Stockholm syndrome, why did I say that? Drone. It's giving me entropy. Okay. So when you stretch that out to the globe, can you see that? Can you see where that plays out? Can you see where people tell lies to cover up the truth? And the truth is, I want to find new ways to abuse you. I want to find new ways to take advantage of you and make you feel safe in that. And the body knows the conflict. The body will know you're lying to me. So this is quite organic, what's coming in. So conflict begins inside us, and very often in that point between a programmed expectation and a revised reality. And all too often we miss the miracle. That's a shit sentence. Conflict begins inside us. Crystal? So sometimes I can't translate what I'm getting. It's like, because it's like three sentences all at once. So what if I just land that with you and you make of that what you will? Conflict begins inside us, and it's between that organic knowing, KNOW, and what you're telling me. And they're not reconciling energetically, and my body knows it. My whiskers know it. My gut knows it. And so again, we're being nudged into find your own truth. Sag cat, find your own truth. Yeah, what do you want from me? I want you to tell me I'm safe. Okay. The expectations are based on something we already know. It's the subconscious that generates the expectation. Otherwise, how do we know what to expect? And so, how can we transcend and get above that expectation where we're not expecting, we're just moving organically, not knowing where we're going or why we're going there? We're just allowing the gut to take over that knowingness. And I watched this thing the other day, mother-daughter plot, mother stage 4 terminal, daughter going through her pre-grieving process. And she started to pray. And shortly into her praying, she finds mum has gone in bed. Mum has passed away in bed. Okay, this is what I captured. A young girl is praying for her mum who is dying of cancer to live a little longer because daughter isn't yet ready to let go. So daughter's expectation that God would somehow grant a stay of execution and prolong mum's suffering, giving her more time alive and made palatable by the comfortable lie that the daughter would be there to care for her if indeed she did suffer towards the end. The daughter unexpectedly finds mum passed away in her bed and in the plight of her own expectations completely missed the miracle. What I saw was that after spending a whole day with all of her favourite friends, mum she announced to her whole friend group, I've got stage 4 and I want there to be this slow loving goodbye rather than just dropping a bomb on you all. And all of her friends gathered and they just did that live photo album thing where it was beautiful, really beautiful. So mum was full of love and tired. So she went to bed and replete with joy, passed away in her sleep. Is this not a perfect end for mum? Was that not the miracle? Okay, so there's a get out of the way-ness because it's not about you. Ness about that. Don't miss the miracle. Okay. Is it the truth or is it the exculpation of a comfortable lie? I think that's going to be the conflict. I think that's going to be the axis. Right, let me go through these points. So we have Sagittarius and Gemini, okay? Mutable fire, mutable air. So for almost 2 weeks, I've been failing to tap into the energy of this axis, and there's a message in there. On this axis, we have opposite ruling planets debilitated in each other's sign and both retrograde. What I'm now being shown is a scene from when I used to see people in person. And a therapeutic practice that I used to do with clients is, so my first job with clients is get them into their body. Okay, so there's this movement as they begin to touch their feelings, their emotions, to touch their visceral self, they'll spring back up into the mind, left mind. Okay, so we nurture and water this movement until they choose where they want to be. So when they ping back up into the mind, it'll come through as cycling questions. So when I was studying Reiki, my teacher said to me, Chrissy, in the head there are only questions, in the heart there are only answers. Okay. So when they cycle in their questions, what I used to do was interrupt them. So I'm interrupting the intellectual mind. Stop, pause, stand up. And I would swap seats with them. And I'd say, okay, you are now my therapist. Oh, okay. So behave yourself. Okay. And then I would relate to them verbatim where they're cycling. I don't know what to do about this, and this happened, and I feel this kind of way, and I give that all back to them. And then I say, what do I do? And they've got the answer because they're out of the way. Okay. So I sense this Sag Gem axis is going, find your own answers. Because, and I say this very often, there isn't a question I can conceive of that I don't already have the answer. to. And indeed, one of my super wise clients actually said, it's the answer that drives the question. Oh, that's gorgeous. It's the answer that drives the question. Okay. But I just end up spinning in questions, Chrissy. Okay, get them out of you. Speak them to a mirror. Do a voice note. Get them out. Write them. And then drop in. Go to the breath and drop into the body. And then you'll spring back out and go to the breath and drop into the body. Okay. So we have Jupiter in Gemini retrograde until February the 4th next year, 118 days. And we have Mercury retrograde until December the 15th, next weekish, 19 days, and then it'll do its shadow. And God, do we stretch a Mercury retrograde, pre-shadow, shadow, retrograde, post-shadow, post-shadow? What, really? Really? Okay, so that's that axis. Now we go to the fixed energy. So that was the mutable axis. Now we go to the fixed axis. Fixed fire, fixed air is Leo and Aquarius. On this axis, we have a Mars retrograde in Leo opposing a Pluto-Venus conjunction in Aquarius. And there's a question around motive, passion, and action. And there's a sentence around the prideful position, competing, ego-driven, or the intelligent strength without prominence. So Mars retrogrades in Leo, started only a few days ago, and will continue until February the 24th, 79 days. So that will give you power struggles, especially opposing Pluto. That's going to take you to the underbelly. That's going to take you to the unexpressed fire. It might take you to anger and rage, or it might take you to wanton pleasure, passion, play, expression, creativity. It might take you to something feeling more like Lilith. I can feel that. It's right under the solar plexus and it's like a growl. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's an okay. It's like the creatrix, the creatrix feminine, buried under the weight of the prideful lion, but knowing she's stronger. It's that. I don't know what that is. Is that a paradox? I don't know. An irony? Who cares? Okay. So power struggles going on inside, and how are we going to bring those out? How are we going to communicate? Can we communicate them? Can we identify them and communicate them? So also in Aquarius at 0, we have Ceres. I'm going to go to this. It is an archetype, but I just love the words. So Ceres is about nurture and self-care and nourishment. Because of her high status, Ceres was also the patron or goddess of the plebeian elected official. In the Roman state, there was an office for plebeians, and this was called the tribune of the plebeians. It would help to keep a check on the higher classes' power within the Senate. So look at the spectrum that that's going to include. That's going to challenge the power structures from the viewpoint of the plebeians. Okay. Power back to the people. Not that they ever lost it, they gave it away. Okay. We gave it away in our assumption that we need to be given permission to express freedom of independent thought. We don't. The permission is inherent. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there. And we're going to go to the cardinal axis, which is Libra Aries. Cardinal fire, cardinal air. Not only is this one the cardinal axis, but it's also the nodal axis. And we have the dark feminine facing off Chiron. The energy feels challenging, like standing up for oneself in the face of a deeply entrenched narrative that will only see you one way, as wounded. It offers a statement, something like, and I didn't fill that in, but what comes through now? Yes, but did you fully see me in that? I got wounded in my learning, but did you fully see me in that? Have I fully acknowledged what I actually achieved in that very difficult journey? Or am I going to label myself ad nauseum as wounded? Hmm. I'll tell you what I'm being shown. I'm being shown a tiger escaping a bear trap and walking with a limp for the rest of its life, but it escaped, and let's not miss that. Okay, so Chiron is retrograde in Aries, opposing Lilith in Libra, and Chiron goes direct at the end of December. Hmm. And we also have Vesta in Libra, which I haven't even tuned into. I just put a note there, see if it comes out in the reading. So, as an amalgam of all of these axes, I wonder if this really noticeable astrology adds up to a broader reminder to discern in each moment whether you're processing through your inherent instinctual response, so that's the body and sensory perception, or whether you're processing through unchallenged reactions and behaviors that stay in line with the broad spectrum programmed narrative that keeps you unthinking, asleep, and obedient. In order to be discerning, disobedience must prevail in the quiet rebellion back to the sovereign dignity of personal expression at a soul level. Okay, them's the notes. And it's nice to have time. I'm just enjoying that I have time to pause and ponder and drift and roam. So I'm going to go to Black Moon Astrology. What's the first message? Is everlasting, lingering. Everlasting. Uh, 3. Beautiful. Ah, love that. Love that. This is speaking. So we have Earth. I'll show you the card, shall I? So we have Earth, building. 38 is a great number. Earth element stability. And so this is building the new foundation from soul level, from priestess, from the higher self, from the God mind. And that structure will not capitulate to a societal norm. It will be unconventional and will challenge all the rooted behavior, all of that entrenched, rooted behavior that wants to break open, just wants to break open. and bring the truth. This is the 39:12:3. This personal authority, it's bringing the blueprint in. It's almost like dissolving the old and bringing the new blueprint in to come into that new measure of self, that new expression of ourself in dignity. It feels very wow. But the orchards that we're going to have to burn down, like the rotting fruit that we're going to have to burn down to get rid of that disease. I'm being dramatic, but I'm being shown a rotting apple that people are buying and eating, believing that it's. The end of the bullshit principle. Shall I call that? Where am I going? What's the underlying? This is interesting. Right, the last time this card came out, it came out inverted. Okay. Oh, no, that's the right way up. That's the right way up. This is okay. I did not know that. The deck is all mixed. Right, so we have Leo inverted again, which is coming out with change. And it's really challenging that it's challenging the id. It's challenging the I want to be seen. That feels flamboyant and vapid. Yeah. Oh God. So much coming in here. I'm being shown a scene of the boardroom and have men just swing dicks in front of one another, all trying to prove their own masculinity when actually they have the emotional age of a 14-year-old that never quite made it through that initiation because he had nobody to support him. So they behave like boys and they're petulant and punitive and judgmental. But Leo's the right way out. It's heart. That's all heart. That's sun online. You feel the difference in that? That's sun online. The story. But what do you feel? I want to rule the boardroom. Yeah, but what do you feel? I feel creative. Okay, how do you express that? Well, oh my, look at this. Look at all this Leo energy. What's my desire? What is your desire? Well, I want to make VP. Okay. Why? Oh, because prestige and package. Okay. Why? And you just get in this Olaf. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why? Just keep getting in that. And what they'll arrive at is this vacuous bubble that does not feed their desire, their soulfulness, big heartedness, what they're feeling. Actually, Chrissy, what I've been feeling since I was a little boy was this, really. Mm. Water that, nurture that energy, pull the spirit through that energy, and don't assume it's not already happening. Wow, so Leo's in the house with change, like changing the whole foundation of passionate expression through creativity, that trapped Mars energy. Okay. Yeah. Who else wants to speak? That's bonkers. Right. As I picked the deck up, I had this thought come through, which was, and don't forget what's going on with Neptune. Okay. A card fell out and I put it back and it was Saturn. And we have the 10th house here. Okay. This is right. Right. Bear with me. Sorry, there's a lot coming in now. Bear with me. Pisces. Neptune is direct. Saturn is direct. Okay. In Pisces, and the moon is in Pisces today. Okay. Buck says 111. Okie dokie. Right, what are you telling me? Yeah, yeah, they're connected, aren't they? This is something big. This is something big. I feel a little bit sick. What happens if I put that there? That changes the energy. Right. Mm. Right. So we have Neptune, the world, and Pisces, cosmos. This is big. And I got this deck out and started shuffling and noticed that the card that wanted to be on the top was Anima Mundi, which is like the it's like the energy that connects all living things together. Well, it's the cosmos that connects all living things together, spirit, the collective soul. Ooh, I feel nervous now. I want to go here. I'm going to go here. And we're going to clear those. Let's put those. What's happening? What is happening? Where are we going? I'm going to go to the Lifruma deck. Poetry can very often say what a sentence can't. Okay. So we have elks, protection coming in on that 15, and leaf shade, cradled, coming in on that 48, that completing 48, completion of karmic contract. Right. My head's hurting now. Bugle calls, so elk protection. Bugle calls, communication rules, listening is key to understanding. Elk command, respect to protect anything. Is that a vocal fawning or defensive warning? Hark, elk can bark, chirp, whistle, mew, bray, bleat, sing, scream, and chuckle. Can you? Call an elk to find your voice and stand your ground. Ow, my throat is red hot. What I'm being shown is someone standing at their altar, like their home altar, the beautiful space that they've created over time and added pieces and taking pieces away and shifting the energy and working with it. And I can see somebody standing at their altar, and there's like a command. It's like a command proclamation. They're making a proclamation. And I leave it there. "15 is the number of, well, it's devil energy, but it's also spiritual alchemy. It's an alchemical changing of energy. So don't get hung up on protection. You know, that's designed to pull us into fear. We can choose fear or we can choose play. And there's tons of Leo energy here. Play. Play with that 15, make the proclamation, use the voice in a different way, use the body in a different way. I'm not going to tell you how. You'll find your way if this is something that speaks to you. What is your proclamation? Okay, leaf shade, leaf shade. I'm just noticing that these two runes look like electricity power lines, different structures, trident, double cross, but they look like overhead equipment to carry messages. I'm just noticing that. Leaf shade. Cradled neath the comforting branches of trees stretching, providing peace, shelter, wisdom, and direction. Contemplate the rate at which a tree breathes and lives. Join its calming peace by allowing nature's healing to kiss us all deep inside. It's connected to that. Healing herbs and tinctures are shared with us by plant spirits whispering on a sultry breeze until their sacred shaded foliage. Their sacred shaded foliage. So there's something about the connection. There's something about the soup that connects all living things together in terms of water. Keep going, okay. Just caught myself trying to figure it out. And now I'm going to go to the musical alchemy of astrology deck. Speak to me about whatever this is. Oh God, my left shoulder and left arm just got really heavy. Wow. If I follow the movement, that's pulling me over. Keep going. Seems to have gone quiet. Hold this for a minute. So the card that flew out is Venus. Honor your heart's desires. Perfect cadence. And disobedience is coming in from my notes. Heart strengthening, antimicrobial healing. I get collective biome here. Soul consciousness. Copper as the giver of goodness, but copper is an amplifier. I am compassionate, I am uncaring. Where do you want to go? Give me more on this, please. Okay, psyche, self-acceptance of life choices, the deification of the human soul, allowing love's breath, return of lost love. I don't get return, I get revelation. I get major revelation with these cards. So, Psyche, seeking the soul's home, celestial choir, Virgo and Pisces. I am forsaken, I am blessed. Okay. I get something about the return of the lost, the return of the lost. So this could be a big soul initiation, like a collective soul initiation. And pink, everything is pink when I close my eyes. It's beautiful. I'm going to invite you guys to speak to this because we may not get a conclusion or a resolution. And I think that's part of the challenge. That's the Sag gem axis, is what if I don't give you the answer? How many different ways can we see this? Okay. Phallus. The law of unintended consequences. Was it Phallus that shot himself through the foot? Radical shifts, psychic sophistication, two endings as options, unreturned kindnesses, acceptance of fate, creation. Don't understand those. Hmm. Right. Listen, I'm going to lean right into a conspiracy because it's going to help me find my words. Don't take me too seriously. I'm just using the stage as a different character so that I can try and pull this out because this is something that's hidden. If I lean into my conspiracy self, then I might say something about everything that's been withheld. I might say something about the unrealized magic, the unrealized dreams that we've had since we were children, that we never quite made, that never quite appeared. It just kind of, there's like this curtain of fog. It's like slimy fog. It's feeling a bit Wizard of Ozzy now. And was that because we were creating through inner conflict? Was that because we were creating through egoic need? So if we're creating through need, then what we need to focus on actually is lack. The truth is lack. It's hidden in need. It's hidden in success and ambition. We hide lack in success and ambition. So if we come into self-acceptance, then we're going to land on the lack before we even try and, right, this is starting to make sense. This is all the fourth house stuff. We land on the lack and we work on that and we unpick that to bring that into a nurturing state so that we know how to feed that, where that comes from, all da 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 da, so that we build the new foundation. I'm still not getting it. And it's not landing. I can't feel it. Where am I going? Interesting underlying currents. Yeah, this is like, it's like words. This was an activation I did recently. It was like this. It was a hand from another density coming through into this density. What is this? Look, Taurus, a mass density. And what do I always say? We've drilled so far into matter, we believe this is real. None of this is real. In the words of Einstein, if you understand quantum mechanics, none of this can be real. So if you find yourself in a moment of taking things really seriously, go to the mirror and say, none of this is real. Okay, still play with it and still work with it, but just come from a lighter, playful. Right, amassing density, calcified coating. Uranus comes in to break the container open. Primordial. I mean, look at this. Primordial collective soul. Where are we? I can't get my vision to go broad enough for what I'm seeing. Yeah, maybe. Moon in Ophiuchus. Personal authority. Don't tell me what to do. It's my shorthand for Ophiuchus. And And don't hide in plain sight because I can see you. Okay. Some beautiful blunt speak here. Eris. Moral compass we can speak to, but what is morality? Is that a man-made thing? Do we include biome when we talk about morality? Biome knows what feels this and what feels that, and I'm avoiding good and bad. Raw feminine disruptor, coming in with Pallas Athena. And intellectual warfare. What I'm going to do now is actually quite counterintuitive. I'm going to start wrapping this up. And I'm going to sit in the not knowing because, in the spirit of Pluto in Aquarius, you guys speak to this. What do you get? What is this? What is this mountain of messages? What is the collective shift? It's not a collective shift. What is the collective? I don't even know what the bloody question is. What is the collective soul trying to tell us? Something big. Look at this. The creator is coming out with the destroyer. Okay. Let's wrap this up now, please. We're going to stay in the not knowing. We'll stay in the curiosity. God, where do we go with this? Look. We have the creator, the destroyer, and the temple. Coming out with beautiful. Yeah. What if this is a collective initiation into self-mastery, into learning to hold your own kundalini, into becoming the keeper of your own light, becoming your own serpent bearer. Oh, wow. Does that land with Pisces? Ophiuchi and Pisces together. Wow. Okay. That's opening up my solar plexus, but my solar plexus is now a water chakra? I don't understand. Okay. So it's a big one, and this has been absolutely gorgeous to play with. Where am I going? No. Final message, please. Let's close this down. Close these energies down, or I'll be out of body for the rest of the day. Yeah. Mm. Through the eyes of the soul, I think. I think they're called through the eyes of the soul. I've lost a deck. Right. Stop wittering. Final message, please. Maybe there isn't a final message. Okay, I declare that there is no final message and that I've lost a deck of cards. Where? Right, I'm going to go and find my desk because my day isn't finished yet. I am going to love you and leave you for now and say thank you for being here. Also, thank you for all your birthday wishes. I had singularly the best birthday I can ever remember. It was stunning. So, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Comment heartily, wantonly below. And I'm going to catch up with you all again soon. Take care.